Hello, my little goblins. We're back with even a spicier list. This time, Libromancer. This is probably the newest stuff that happened with the new set. I know there was a Sky Striker stuff. I know there was Therion stuff, but this actually got the most. You could actually make a deck out of it. You're not really making a pure Therion deck. I guess you can make like a heroic deck, but I don't know how that would be. But this is probably one of the more competitive full archetype decks. It is pretty cool. What you want to do with this deck is you pretty much get Libromancer Doombroker. He lets you search the trap, which is a counter trap, pretty much. You get it's like a Omni Negate. The only difference is it does not destroy, so just remember that. So the ideal combo you want to do to people is, I call it the Ghetto Scythe Lock. So the Ghetto Scythe Lock entails, we either get Artifact Scythe from the effect of Ben 10, or we get it from going into Artifact Dagda. We go into Baron de Fleur, we pop our own Artifact Scythe. On our opponent's standby phase, we activate Baron's effect to grab the Artifact Scythe from the graveyard. Now if our opponent has Called by the Grave, we can negate it with Baron's effect, obviously. If our opponent has Called by the Grave Imperm, we'll have Baron and we'll have Intervention. And I'm going to say this right now. If your opponent is Called by the Graving Artifact Scythe, there is a very good chance that card absolutely wrecks their deck. Because otherwise, you just wouldn't bother. You'd be like, okay, free negate off the board. So that kind of tells you a lot. But yeah, that's kind of how you do it. How you go into Baron de Fleur, pretty easy. You just go into Diviner of the Herald. That sends whatever, either Elder or Herald, to the graveyard. Becomes a level 6. Summon Libromancer Fire. 6 and a 4 becomes a 10. I did math for you guys. Alright, that's the basic combos. We'll talk more about the deck in the recap, but let's get into some games so you can see how it plays. And if you can see, really, if this is something you might want to play. Hello, we're here with game number 1, and we're playing against Hey, how's it going? Our hand's actually pretty good. It doesn't look that good, but we pretty much got every card that we actually want in our hand. We will have no need for pretty much anything. We're pretty much gonna be able to do full combo. We're pretty close to full combo here. We're gonna grab we have literally almost every, pretty much have one of every ritual monster in our hand. We're able to go into Baron. We summon Agent. Add that. Now I was actually debating whether or not this was the right play or not. I don't know if I was locked into anything or anything. But I possibly could have gone into Ultima Tozikin, which will let me go into Crystal Wing Synchro. But I'm not 100% sure. I think I might have been locked on something. I don't think I was locked on anything, though. I'd also have to get rid of these two. I'd pretty much have to dump. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I could have gone into that. So this is kind of how the lock looks like, by the way. We used Baron's effect to special summon Scythe. He went for a Call by the Grave. I went for Baron Negate on that, obviously, because it's going away anyway. He goes for a Widow Anchor, and I go for Libromancer's Intervention. Looks like I'm going to win this Negate exchange. Dude, I've been playing against so many Sky Strikers, it's non-stop. The deck is just really good right now. So we're gonna do our thing. And remember, if we're playing against Sky Strike or any deck like that, they're pretty much locked out of playing the game. And then he evenly matches me, which is not fun. And then he plays Dino Wrestler Pankratops, which is a one of. I made sure I checked. So it's a one of that he has in the deck, and yeah, pretty unlucky. But we actually should be pretty fine here. We're gonna have Diviner. I'm pretty sure we're all set. We're gonna be able to try and go. Pretty much we're good. This is how we're good. We have two ways of forcing Pankratops here, right? First of all, the Maxi is really annoying, but we have two ways of forcing Pankratops. We can go into Ultimate Tozikin, like I told you before, or we can summon a level 4 and threaten Baron, and he's 100% going to activate. He would have to activate the Baron, or else he's just dead. So here, honestly, I was very surprised that our opponent did not activate to the spell, the field spell, because this field spell is our ritual spell. This is what lets us go into all our ritual monsters. So, I mean, if he did that, I would have just did the play that I just told you about. But I was still kind of surprised. So he's going to pop our Diviner of the Herald. We're going to be able to add a Geek Boy back to the hand. And now we're going to start ritualing off our monsters. Here comes Doombroker. And then here comes our Fire Burst. And this is why this deck is dangerous. Okay, this is why this deck's dangerous. So, some of the other ritual decks might have a punch. Fire Burst, this motherfucker hits hard. Look how hard this bitch hits. Boom, 56. Because if you use at least one monster from the field, the damage it does in battle is doubled. So, it's 2800 attack, it's 5600 attacking. And what the other ritual monster does is when you use a monster that's on the field, it allows you to attack your opponent directly. And when you deal damage with it, you can send a card that's face up on the field to the graveyard. Pretty good effects, in my opinion. It's pretty enjoyable to play. Hello, everybody. We're here with game number 2, and our hand is looking like an emergency. Having 2 emergency teleports usually isn't the best, but it is what it is, especially when we have a Geek Boy already in hand. But it is what it is. There's not really that much we can do with this board, so we're going to do the best that we can with it. So we're going to go into Agent. We still have it normal summoned here, so we're going to grab Fire. And you can argue not to summon Fire, save it for next turn. But I remember I have E-Teleport and Geek Boy. Like, there's a very high chance I can search it off of the next field spell that I play. So I'd rather go into Heat Soul Talker, Decode Talker Heat Soul, so I can get these extra draws. There's going to be 2 extra draws I get. And look, I found the Ben 10, which is going to really have a nice setup for my turn. We get Diviner. We could have gotten Artifact Scythe, but I just don't think that's the right play because we have no way of getting rid of it on board. So I'd rather just play it safe like this. Our opponent plays. I play Maxi. Our opponent plays Called by the Grave. This is why we do it really early. Maxi hits most decks. So we're going to activate Libromancer. He's going to activate the new Sky Striker card, Sky Striker Linkage. And I'm just going to activate, I'm just going to extend the chain because I want to be part of the fun. It's almost like an argument. You always want the last word. So he goes into Kagori, which is fine. I honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I actually thought Kagori was a bad play here. Because, like, if you're trying to get the most value possible, I don't think you really want to pick up another. I think you'd rather go into Hayate and then go for an attack, send Engage to the graveyard, and then try and set something up with that. That seems like it would make way more sense to me. Him trying to get another linkage, I mean, it doesn't seem like it makes that much sense. Fire's going to activate. It's going to add another Libromancer to my hand. I add Fire Burst, which is our big hitter. All these Libromancer cards, I think he looks amazing. They look really cool. So he's going to go into Zeke, which he picks like the oddest of targets. He picks my Heat Soul Talker, which is like, why would you pick that? And then he Regekis me. Like, why? I feel like you would get rid of one of these cards, but I don't know. Then he goes to the Therion, so I actually thought, everyone on stream thought I was just dead here, but then I realized he has Linkage in hand in a random, and if he has no way of getting rid of Therion, he can't Linkage. So I'm actually not dead. I'm going to live with like 200 life points. Wait, why did I say 200? I'm going to live with 700 life points. I am dumb. But our hand's real juicy, big juicy. he overextended into my max save because I think he thought I was gonna die. We're trying to get his Therion to use his ability. And there he goes. He uses it on Diviner. I swear, people just love negating Diviner of the Herald. Which I don't blame, but like... it's kind of annoying. Now we're still in really big trouble. Because remember, if we don't kill our opponent this turn... Our opponent, all they have to do is go into Hayate and attack us. But we do have the Imperm, which is going to help in that. We're going to go into Dagda. You know why I went into Dagda? I think I was immediately thinking... I was originally yeah, I like messed up here. Because I was originally thinking that... I should go into, what is it, Access Code Talker? But then I realized, like, if I kill Zeke, Ray just comes back, and then it goes into Kanu, and then Kanu negates one of my monster's attacks. So, like, I figured actually just going into Apollosa would be better. I just wish I made the decision earlier, so I actually, you know what, I think I had to go into Dagda, because I had 2 Geek Boys out. Yeah, never mind. Take it all back. I actually did the replay. Shut your mouth. Alright, so here's my Doom King. And then we're gonna... go into Fire Burst. We're gonna attack this. Deal 1,000. Remember, the damage is doubled now. He goes into Ray. We attack, because we can attack monsters twice. He's going to go into Kanu. I actually don't negate Ray right now. I actually wait until Kanu comes out because I know he has Linkage in his hand. And if he's like someone who runs 2 Kanus, which like not many decks run 2 Kanus, but if he's one of those people, I want to make sure I can negate both. Like I can burn through his copies. He's already at 2k. I have 2 charges on this card. I'm feeling pretty good. He goes into Linkage. He probably thinks this is game. I flick up that Imperm. He cannot attack me directly anymore. He's gonna be forced to go into... he goes into Kanu again. You see? We're gonna stop that. We definitely don't want that to go through because we want our powerhouse to beat his monsters down. And then he goes into Kaguri. But remember... Since he did not go into Kaguri that first turn, he has really no cards to go into. And he loses the game because of that. He definitely could... He should have won this game, like, hard. But he messed up early with going into Kaguri. Honestly, I think he just had a one-track mind. I was like, I'm going to finish him off right now. But if he just played the long game, he would have won this game so hard. I would have probably just conceded. Because all he had to do is get 1 engage. That engage gets a Widow Anchor, and I'm just screwed after that. You just pick apart my board, and I can't do anything. Alrighty, guys, we're here for game number 3, and our hand is actually looking pretty decent. We have the Ash Blossom. Let's see, Cyanide Mining. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're gonna go for a kill, so we're not gonna use Pot of P originally. Boop. All things are going pretty well. And this is triggering. Cursed Seal of the Forge. Negate the spell, destroy it, and if you do that, your opponent cannot activate spell cards with that name for the rest of the duel. So if you know, this is our only way of ritual summoning monsters. So now we can't even ritual summon monsters. This is going to be a wacky game. I normal summon the Ash. We go into Baron. We're going to pop his back row. It's a MST. Kind of strange. And then we play Pot of P. We see what the hell is on top of our deck. Honestly, all these cards don't really do too much for me. Maxi was a thought, but we ended up going into Call by the Grave. Honestly, we really needed to, so He goes into Lightning Storm. He wipes out the back row. And this is why he wipes out the back row, because he's going into Ecclesia. Ecclesia is going to special summon, and then I'm just going to negate. If he has Imperm, I'm probably going to lose this game. But he did not, so GG, get destroyed. Hello, this is game number 4, and we're playing against Amir Ishtar. And we add Terraforming, and we get our Field Spell, which is pretty much the engine to everything that is amazing. We activate Preparation of Rites, add that Ben 10. And we're on fire right now. Our opponent activates Max C, which makes me want to cry and also punch the wall. I swear to God, I do not know how this card has not been banned yet, limited, or anything. Dude, it has been a 3-of in every deck since the start of We're coming up on the year event, and it's been a 3-of ever since this game's inception. It's like, why? Stop. Please. But I'm just going to give my opponent, I'm pretty sure I give my opponent 3 draws here. So we're going to go into this Baron. We're going to... I figured him drawing 1 extra card is worth me having 1 extra negate. Because, what's he... On average, his 1 extra card is probably not going to be something that I need to negate anyway. Because this Artifact Scythe is just going to lock him out of the game. And that's what I have to hope. So, ideally, we're going to activate Baron. We're going to also activate Max C, really baiting his Call by the Grave if he has it. And there you go, Artifact Scythe. He has Branded Opening. So the reason why, I probably could have held on to this, but the reason why I activate Intervention so early is because I know he's on Branded. There's literally nothing he can go into. I am not afraid of a single card that he can go into. I would just rather him not just special something that might be useful. You know what I mean? Honestly, Dramaturge is kind of annoying. If he was able to go into Dramaturge, and then he has a Branded in red, or, you know what I mean? It's a way of getting rid of it. I don't know. Either way, I don't need a reason. I do the things I do because I do. We're gonna jump right into Doombreaker. I swear these cards need animations. There's no reason why this deck has 600 ultra rares with 0 animations. Make it make sense. Okay, we're pretty much just going to obliterate our opponent. We're going to send our opponent to the Shadow Realm, where she belongs. I'm going to teach him a lesson, a very difficult lesson in life that a lot of people don't get to learn. So see, this card lets us attack directly. We can send the Alistair back, and then boom, 56. Goodbye. See you later. Hello, we're here for game number 5, and we're playing against Ardian, and we're playing against Runic. So Ardian must stand for cocksucker. Must be in his native tongue, standing for cocksucker. Well, we're gonna stop that Huggins, and he's also playing Magustus. All right, maybe he's not too bad. I mean, you're still playing Runic, which is really annoying to play against, but at least you're playing Magus. It's okay, never mind. You're back to being a cocksucker. We went into Baguska. Come on, man. I'm just trying to make a living for my family. I sent this Call by the Grave, and he's just like, nah, fam. You don't get to do that. At least I didn't banish anything good, useful. Alright, well, that's a good draw. Droplet's a great draw. We could look at ending the game, but I don't think we're going to end it. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's possible with this hand. But you know, I'm always willing to give it a college try. Ben 10, we're definitely not going for Scythe Lock if he's playing Runic. It wouldn't even make sense. Honestly, we have to go for. Yeah, there's no way we could do it. I think our opponent has some type of brain disease. He must have a venereal disease and it's reached his brain. Like, it doesn't work. Ben 10 doesn't leave the graveyard, dum-dum. So, Huggins gonna disappear. We're going to Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur is gonna pop that back row, and it is an imperm. So, this is probably a very controversial opinion. So, I negate the imperm. So, the reason I negate the imperm is because I feel like the trap is more important than Baron's negate. And you can hear me on this. The trap allows me to get fire, which can let me search on my opponent's turn and use fire's ability on my opponent's turn to get agent, so then I could use fire again on my turn so I can get both of my rituals off, because otherwise I'm going to be lacking on the stars needed. So that's the reason why. And I still, technically, I keep a negate. Either way, I was having a negate. And then we just pass. That gets returned back to the deck. And he has 2 cards in hand, so they have to be pretty stellar cards for him to really come back from this. Zoro's not going to really cut it. We're just going to negate its ability. He plays Call by the Grave, which is really annoying because we were trying to do this for fire this entire time. So, kind of annoying. I will say, though, any monster, literally any monster besides a ritual monster, any monster on the top of our deck is game. We win the game. And we draw, I meant any monster. Ash Blossom's game, too. Because that lets our Fire Burst be able to do double damage. So now he's going to become 3k. And then I can whack him for 6. Goodbye. GG. And we're here for the final and 6th match. And I thought this was a good... I thought this was a funny one. I get Gammed. That. I mean, dude, I feel like my opening plays usually never happen. I get... Something always happens. So it gets Ash, Gammed, Max, Seed, or something. I don't know. So annoying. It's good for you guys to see, because then you can see you can actually play through these cards. So I don't want anyone saying, "Oh, this deck can't play through hand traps." I got hand trapped like fucking 800 times in this video. What are you talking about? Look at our field. Our field's ass. But he has only 4 cards, and we're going to max see him here. I feel pretty confident. He goes for Fight for a Patchwork. We're going to negate that off the bat, because that card gets really annoying. And he has Red Reboot. So, I guess our back row never really mattered at the end of the day. But I will say this. He's underneath Max C. Remember, he's underneath Max C. And if he can't kill me this turn, which, I mean, there's a high probability he could. We'll kill him easily. Dude, he's at 4k. Like, we can kill him easy. I mean, this card right here attacks directly. That's 2,500 damage right there. That's because he's Baller. Baller Hauler. Okay. So he's playing some weird Shadal. Okay, well, I guess I'm not dying because he goes into Shadal Construct. Just go into Mirror Jade, dude. Why are you making this shit confusing? You had a much better shot killing me with going into Mirror Jade. Fight for a Patchwork. Okay. Polymerization? Okay. So he wants to go for the 2 pops? What was that card I just seen there? I don't think I've ever seen that card, but I don't play Shadalls that often, so. Okay, he adds a Shadal Fusion. Cool. Pops 2 of my cards. Neato. My card dies, thank you. I have 3 cards in hand. Dude, and these are like some of my better cards. Like, dude, my hand is fucking popping right now. I'm feeling good about this. We got Firestarter. We're about to have a party right now. We're about to have a party. Play Arsenal again. You know what? Actually, what I'm curious about is this card targeted. So You can target. I really wish this wasn't targeted. Like, you can send one. Dude, it'd be so much better. But this is what we end up doing. We got. This is literally our only out to 3,300 monster that can't be targeted. You go into Crystal Wing, and then we go into Fire Burst, and our boy is dead. Boom, 3K. Then we're gonna wail on him for additional 5K overkill. GG. Let's get to the recap because lots to talk about. Hello everybody and welcome back to the recap. I just wanted to say thank you for watching this far and please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out greatly. Also, did you guys know I stream on Twitch? I just realized I don't tell you people all the time that I stream on Twitch. But if you joined our Discord, we have a Discord too. It's in the description down below. I post when I stream on there. It's usually on Tuesday and Thursday, pretty consistently at 6 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes we do Friday where we do tournaments, like tournaments within the Discord. So come by, it'll be fun. Now let's talk about how the deck performed. The deck performed actually way better than I thought. I thought this deck was going to be a real stinker. I really didn't think it was going to be able to compete against a lot of the meta decks. But I actually had surprisingly a lot of fun with it. I actually thought it was pretty consistent. Like, it was a lot more consistent than I thought. Like, I would say like most of our games we were able to Scythe Lock. And if we couldn't Scythe Lock our opponent, and like I say, it's a ghetto Scythe Lock because we're not using TG Wonder Magician and Halky Fiber Axe. But it's not a bad play because a lot of decks use the extra deck. If you're able to, especially with the Sky Strikers, like I'm playing in so many of them now, you lock them out of the extra deck, and they're gonna have a hard time playing their turn. What would I say? What cards overperformed that I thought were like better? Okay, so this card, Libromancer Fire, literally probably the best card in your deck. It just puts all your deck together because this card allows you to search your monsters, and then you can literally just tutor out whatever monster needed. This card overperformed too, Libromancer Agent. I actually think this card, you might actually want this at 2. Because in longer, grindier games, like games where you might have to recycle some resources, I noticed that like I really wish I had this card, an extra copy in my hand. Other than that, I think Doom King at 2 is fine. This original list, this list is really, honestly, this is actually a good list. I actually got this list from Master Duel Meta's website, so check it out on there too. The only difference between their list and my list is they had Cosmic Cyclones because of all the Runic players, but like I haven't played that many Runic players, so and honestly, they were bricking the hell out of my hand. After I removed the Cosmic Cyclones and I replaced them for Cyanite Minings, right? And remember, Cyanite Mining you can get from the structure deck, so it's not that expensive. After I was able to get the Cyanite Minings in here, it made the consistency of the deck so much better. Because remember how I told you this card is one of the best cards in the deck? Guess what? It's a Cyberse. So that helps. The emergency teleport works really well with Geek Boy. I honestly think that this deck also packs a surprising punch with how much damage Fire Burst does. Like if your opponent has 2 weak monsters in attack mode, oh goodness, dude, they're getting demolished. And if they have an empty board, you already seen, it's very easy. Just go Doom Broker into Fire Burst, and that's more than enough. It's 8,100 damage. So I think the deck was a lot of fun. But I would say, I mean, yeah, if you're going first and your consistent board, like the most consistent board you make is usually Baron Defleur with a negate, with Doom Broker negate, with the Trap negate, whatever. If that's your consistent board, maybe it's not the best deck, but it does it consistently, right? And it has a really good like follow-up game plan. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Sword Soul. You know how Sword Soul can build like a very powerful early board, but like that powerful early board is like a few negates. It's like a few negates and a trap. Like they'll have like blackout with a few negates. This is kind of like that. You set up a few negates, and then on your next following turn, you have a very easy time OTKing them. And I know it's not exactly like Sword Soul at all, but it gives me the vibe of Sword Soul, at least a little bit. Even though Sword Soul has some pretty ridiculous plays it can make, I'm just saying the vibe of it is kind of what I feel from this deck. Like, you stop your opponent's plays enough where you live, and then you mess up their turn, and then when it's back to your turn, you have an easy time. You can OTK them with Doombroker and Fireburst. And don't get me wrong, you have a very easy time going into Synchro Dragon. This is another reason why I actually think that having Agent at 2 might actually make the most sense. Because Agent is like one of your easiest ways of going into Crystal Wing. Because it lets you go into Ultimate Tolzakin, and then that lets you go into Crystal Wing. Also, another cool fact, Agent has the ability to grab any Libromancer card, so you can recycle the trap. So that's another pretty cool thing about it. But if you grab the trap, I think it has to... you have to return a card from your hand to the deck. So, how did the deck climb? So, we started the day off on stream at Gold 1, and we climbed on stream to go Plat 4. So, we climbed to Plat 4, close to Plat 3, and then that was pretty much it. I didn't play any off-stream because we also ended the stream early too. But I didn't play any off stream because I'm just tired. I just wanted to make this video so you guys can have it. But it was a lot of fun. On a tier list, 1 to 3 tier list, I would put this at tier probably. It's kind of tough. Probably tier 3. It's probably like a tier 3, or it's either tier 3 or a rogue tier, because I don't think it's like super broken. Because like I said, if Halki Fibrax was in the format still, with TG Wonder Magician and stuff, this deck would be way better. But since it's not, you kind of have to do with what you got. Which I think this deck probably falls into a comfortable tier 3 or rogue tier position. And I'd probably put it at like an 8, or even like a high 7.5, 8 on how it plays. Can you hit diamond with this deck? I 100% believe you can hit diamond with this deck. I was climbing like pretty easily in Plat. It wasn't too bad climbing in Plat. And I was every game was against like the new Sky Striker deck and what is it? The Sky Striker, Branded, Sword Soul. Like these are all the only decks I've been playing the whole night. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys want next. I'm going to be honest with you. The next profile that drops on Friday is most likely going to be Sky Striker. But let me know what you might want after that. All right. Goodbye.